And welcome, guys, to Game 2 of the finals of the Australian and New Zealand Stage Challenge. I'm not going to talk too much quickly because we've done all the plugins many times already in this particular event. We're going to jump straight into the draft, which is already underway. Going to introduce again my co-caster, Jason. How's it going, Jace?
Good, good. It's fun to watch the first game. Interesting.
Indeed it is.
How
Right,
are you?
so I'm good. I'm fantastic. A little exhausted. This has been a long event for me, a different time zone. But yeah, just to introduce Jason. Jason is one of the organizers of this event. He doesn't normally cast, but he obviously casting today. How you find casting?
Yeah, fun. So fun.
Right, and we've got two bans already. We're seeing almost a similar pattern into the previous game, although we see Bat Rider being banned, we see Wisp being banned, those two staple bans all the way through the entire event. But this time, GFG choosing to ban OD. They don't want to face that OD this particular time, and SYF picking to choose to ban the next assassin. All pretty standard bans, you reckon, Jason?
Yeah, it's quite standard for Nyx and Lu in Bat Rider, but OD is just one of the. I'm not sure, man. No idea why it's so famous now, getting banned.
He's just one of those heroes that I think if he's played really well, he can put it this way: he works really well in the solo lane position. He works really well in the long lane. He works really well in the mid. I believe it's because he has that single target spell effect. He can imprison somebody. He can right click them with an orb, but he has no escapes and he has no stuns himself other than the astral imprisonment. And then his ult just is really good. If he can imprison somebody a couple of times and then ult them, or even just randomly in a team fight, it's going to do a serious amount of damage. That's why I believe we see an early OD ban. In terms of the other pickups, we're seeing Gyro and Weaver being picked up in the GFG team. Gyro being quite strong, and yes, to my co-caster who is currently sending me a message, this game has a 5 minute. Currently has a 5 minute delay.
Okay, nice.
Nice, yeah, just to make sure. You asked me for that delay, so I put 5 minutes and 20 seconds just to make sure. So there can be no ward sniping in this particular scenario. And yeah, it's just that's why we had to have a long break between each game, just to allow that upload time. In any case, we see the Radiant SYF gaming. They're picking up a Rubik and they're picking up a Nature's again. Strong heroes. They seem to be the centerpiece of that last game. What do you think about the banning of that tree, though? What do you think that means?
Probably this is afraid of the commonly used Gyro and Weaver trend, and offlane pushing so much winning in middle and offlane. That's why they ban out the trend, I would say. Or probably just lazy to deal with the healing power.
Yeah, that living armor having a really detrimental effect onto your opponent's ability to be able to pick off a hero, but also you can use it on Weaver to dive really hard, really hard diving from Weaver. You can use it on a solo Gyro to give us Gyro that sort of extra buffer of safety when he's on his own because the global presence of that tree. But you can see they've also now banned out the Lifestealer and Alchemist on the Dire, and finally a ban in the second round of banning for Puck on the Radiant side. This is a setup, as I believe, probably for a Queen of Pain in mid position.
Yeah, most probably they will pick either one of them will pick up Akasha, Kuyo, P, middle.
And we see GFG picking up Visage for their tri lane. Their tri lane probably at this stage going to consist of Visage, Gyrocopter, and one other support, whereas the tri lane for the Radiant side probably going to consist of a Rubik, a Luna, and another support. Both teams at this stage giving away their long laners of, or potentially long laners of Weaver and Nature's Prophet. It's still early. There's still options. There's still a lot of heroes in the pool. I don't think any mid-heroes have been revealed yet, so the pool is still quite open for those mid-hero picks should they want to put in a Queen of Pain, should they want to put in a DK, because we haven't yet seen a Dragon Knight being used in the mid position. There we go. We're picking up a Rubik. This is the same combo they did before. They did some sort of weird thing where they put Weaver in the trail lane and Clockwork in the long lane, so they're doing that again. But they've got a lot
Yeah,
of
looks like
carry.
they're
At your service.
Dire team ban.
looks like they're gonna do that again.
Yeah, which means they're going to be looking for a strength hero to fit into that. No, they've got a strength hero carry. They haven't got a strength hero carry, but will they be looking to pick up another strength hero in that last position? Probably. For GFG will probably be looking to pick up another hearty carry in that last slot there. Whereas SYF probably quite comfortable with their carry position. They're probably looking, they've got their global presence of the Nature's Prophet yet again. They're probably looking to pick up a really good support to allow. What are the lanes? Man, these lanes are going to be confusing. When we're in the long lane, Nature's Prophet in the jungle, they're going to go for a 2-1-2 split, probably. Oh, I don't know how to cast this one, to be honest. The makeup of SYF's team, yet again throwing me off slightly with their picks. Luna's obviously, I think Luna's obviously the tri lane or in one of the side lanes.
Yeah, Luna most likely go with Rubik, and I would say Furin go jungle and Windrunner just going offlane. But from the way they pick their heroes, I think GFG is gonna put the Visage on offensive lane and leave Weaver farm easily. That lane.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, the Queen of Pain, they abandoned their Queen of Pain, so they're looking to put something in mid that's going to do well against the Queen of Pain. Against, I guess, a Windrunner, I guess. Wow, and we see a Crystal Maiden pick up. I haven't seen a Crystal Maiden being played in any even Tier 1 or Tier 2 tournament games in a long time. What are your thoughts on Crystal Maiden?
It's just the way they can disable and also provide a little bit of the mana pool to your team, but mainly it's just the frostbite and Chris and so when you can disable heroes, and if you add up together with the amount of disable is actually 5 seconds slow plus 3 seconds stun. So and the cooldown is just 10 seconds for a second skill, so it's like every 3 seconds you expect, if CM is not dying, you expect the disable coming up.
Yeah. We can see also there's a Bloodseeker pick up there, which is again another unusual hero you don't normally see in high tier games. I'm probably picking that Bloodseeker is going to be in the middle. Oh look, we see an early rotation here from the entire Radiant team, 5-manning immediately to the Dire jungle, looking to block that camp. They're going to be going for an offensive, some kind of offensive pattern here. Have they got smoke? Having a quick look at their gear. They have no smoke. They do have wards. They can block the camps, but they're moving very, very rapidly into this Dire jungle. Dire not really taking their time. They've already sort of forming into their lanes. So they've got 3 heading into this trail lane in the bottom. They've got Clockwork mid by the looks of it, and they've got Gyro in the long lane. And this Gyro is not careful. Oh, a nice placing of the ward. This ward is actually going to reveal that there's Gyro on his own, and they're going to dive. That's what I would do if I was them. I'd say, hey look, Gyro's all by himself. Oh wait, the rest of the team is not there. Yeah, they're going to look to possibly dive in. Or block the creep wave and then dive in because he's on his own. No, they're just aimlessly walking around. Sorry guys who are watching this. Not a lot of reporting from my behalf, but they're just looking to sort of just rotate around that jungle. They were looking for an easy opportunity, and they had one, but they decided not to go for it. They decided to play safe. Fury unmidding against the Clockwork. This I was not expecting. Weaver and Crystal Maiden in the bottom lane here as a duo versus a solo Bloodseeker. So all of the lanes not exactly what I was expecting at all. In fact, they're all completely what I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, me too.
The only person that is in a place where I thought they would be the gyro. And he's now out of position. He's going to get picked up by a Rubik's stun, followed by a shackle shot from the... Oh, but it's not long enough. And there's not enough right clicks going down onto this gyro. Probably that's just because there was nothing for the Windrunner to shackle to. If the drop had been slightly to one side, he could have got him for a longer stun on a tree, but this is how it goes, I guess. And I don't think this gyro is going to have a very good time in this top lane position, which is really going to be detrimental to GFG's long-term game plan. They need this gyro to get their farm early. They need him to be in those team fights with a lot of DPS. Meanwhile, in the mid position here, we got Clockwork taking a lot of damage from just this double DD Furion, who's just right-clicking things and causing Clockwork to panic a little bit. And he hasn't picked up Cogs as one of his earlier abilities, which I find quite unusual.
Yeah. You have at least one.
Yeah, he's gone for the mini stun and the rockets quite early.
Coming in.
I guess he's feeling reasonably safe in the mid position and doesn't feel like he needs those cogs to get him out of tricky situations. I don't know if this matchup's going to be good for him. He's getting out harassed and he's getting driven back out of the lane just by right clicking Furion. Meanwhile, they've got a Crystal Maiden in the Visage, trying to get this Bloodseeker, and it looks like they may get him with a slow, a stun, followed by no, he's going to get away. Unfortunately, just not enough CC. Only level 1 Crystal Maiden. Early harassment there to get rid of that single lane off lane Bloodseeker, who's now reverted to jungling, leaving Weaver to get free farm, and so Crystal Maiden and Visage now rotating into the middle as sort of this rotating pair of people with nothing to do. And so they're just going to pick off as many body blocks. Come on, body blocks from the Crystal Maiden. No body blocks from the Crystal Maiden. And this Prophet now turning on him. Lots of right clicking damage. He's so soft, and Fast Blood going down to Nature's Prophet. Well played there by the Nature's Prophet. Oh, taking... Well, the hell is Clockwork doing? Clockwork comes in with some mini stuns. He hopes to get a kill. He does get a kill, but it's going to cost him his life. He's being right-clicked by Rubik and being pursued by trees and some creeps. But Visage rotates in. Oh wait, nice TP in by the Natures, and this is not going at all in the favour of GFG in the round 2 of this game, in the second game of this best of 3. We can see here there's already a slight gap in the XP gold. Yeah, quite early gap here in terms of the XP gold 1000 gold, and XP only 200. But you know, it's still close. It's still anyone's game. But it's all going in so far in this early stage. It's all going in the favour of SYF.
Invisibility.
Have I lost my co-cast? Oh no, you're there. I thought you were having some problem because you were.
Yeah, if they win this game, that's mean they are just one step away from winning the whole tournament.
Is it the best of 3 or is it the first of 3?
Best of 3.
Yeah. So if I thought this was the final. Is this not the final? Oh, easy pick off there in the bottom lane here. Crystal Maiden was invisible. She put down her Frostbite, and Weaver picked off that kill. Is this not the if SYF win this game, do they not just win the tournament? I thought this was the final.
I think they should win another one, right?
No, they won the first.
Three.
It's best of 3, which means you only get to win 2 games.
Oh.
Well, because if
Only get 2 wins.
yeah, because if let's put it this way, if GFG win, right, then they have to play a 3rd game. If SYF win, there's no need to play the 3rd game because it doesn't matter what happens, the SYF still win. That's how best of 3 works.
Oh, true. I think I messed up with the meaning, but Yeah, so this game, if they win, then that's mean
Yeah.
end of the tournament,
If
right?
SYF
Okay.
win this game, they take out the championship of the Series 1 of this particular pool. And it's looking like they may be able to do this. Well, it's only the early stages, but it looks like they're going to be able to do this with the 4 kills to 2. It's still just early stages, but it is... GFG probably need to pull some tricks out of the head in order to probably salvage back their losses already. But you know, we've seen it already. We saw it in the last game where the Radiant was substantially ahead in XP and gold for most of the game, and it was only the sort of last 1 or 2 team fights where the Dire sort of turned it around. So we may see the same sort of thing happen in this particular lineup also.
Yeah, because Weaver is farming well.
Yeah, Weaver is managed to getting quite a reasonable amount of good last hits. He's sitting at 35, which is comparable to Luna in the top lane. The other 2 heroes have abandoned Weaver to be on his own, which I don't know if that was the best choice. I think I would have kept at least one other down here to harass off this Bloodseeker, so this Bloodseeker gets no farm. But they've chosen to put everyone into the top lane. Oh look, and this Visage gets hit by a shackle. He's going to get picked up, he's going to get stunned. But in comes Furion, in comes in comes Gyro. There's damage going down on everybody. Luna comes in. Can Luna pick off anyone? And she picks off Gyro. And she picks off Visage. Well, that was Rubik actually, but it was almost her. She picks up Crystal Maiden, and this is a disaster for GFG. This is an absolute disaster. They're losing everybody in this particular engagement. No one is going to get out alive.
Tower is under attack.
I tested your metal and found it
Oh, lucky last hit there for Luna. Rubik went down. Clockwork managed to pick up 2-3 kills in that particular engagement, so what was looking like it was an 8-2, suddenly it's a 9-6, and it's looking a lot more healthier. But as I said before, I probably wouldn't have left this Bloodseeker in the bottom lane with a Weaver unsupported, just because I'd like to shut down that Bloodseeker as much as possible. Doesn't matter what level you are, that Rapture is really painful.
Yeah, definitely.
Dire's bottom tower is taking many wounds.
Looks like they're gonna push top.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
There's nice animated trees pushing in the lane. They're picking the forest. They think someone might be back there, but there's no one there.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They've pulled the creep wave and using the bottom camp here to hold off the creep wave, so they can definitely get this tower.
With me, much like cordwood
Yeah,
before
so
Axe
clever.
attacks. Dire, heaven or hell, Dire's top tower isn't one of them.
But we can see great rotation in here from Gyro into the bottom lane to fight off against this
Radiant's
Bloodseeker.
middle
But I think
tower is under attack.
this might be a bit too
Radiant's
late.
towers are fortified, just like Axe.
You know, this.
Radiant's
No,
middle
I'm
tower is
wrong.
under
That's
attack.
good timing. There was no bad timing there at all. Although now we're seeing Weaver and Clockwork come into bottom, rotate into this bottom position here with Gyro. They want to get this kill. But I think this Bloodseeker is going to have this Rapture and be able to escape anything they can lay down onto them.
I think that the sole reason that they pick up Bloodseeker is just for Weaver, probably. Because otherwise there's no other reason why they pick it up.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Well, they can pick up somebody with Rubik and move him, but I don't think that's particularly effective.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we see that Rapture being used there. He's going to try and TP out, but unfortunately he's got his supporters. They've rotated in to that bottom position. Easy pick off. And Furion also TPing in to cut off the escape. Now they're going to form and push this bottom tower. Meanwhile, in the middle position, Luna's scaring everybody, and they're they've sort of come in to defend that mid lane. Well, but they're going to lose this bottom wax unless they can TP in.
Yeah, definitely.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Dire choosing to ignore the push on the bottom lane and instead push the mid, but they're just being driven back right there by a single Fury and ult. Took off half the health of Weaver, almost half the health of Weaver, almost half the health of Crystal Maiden, and they just panic and retreat.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Excellent rotation. Look at that rotation there. Now they're all mid. Now they're aggressively pushing this mid lane, having just captured the bottom tower.
That is for certain.
The GFG team not really having the damage output to be able to defend
Dire's
this.
middle tower is under attack.
You look at their heroes. You look at Clockwork. You look at Crystal Maiden. Nice utility heroes, but no damage. Whereas all of the heroes on this sorry, I don't even know how to call it, Sif team, they have all damage. They have even the Rubik with his Fable has a reasonable amount of damage, and he has the potential to steal some of their good abilities also.
Yeah,
The red mist spreads.
the power of to clear the push is great on Raiden team. The other team doesn't have the luxury.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And now they're looking to fuck back to sort of a status quo farm status. They're all looking to build up their items. Let's have a quick look at the graph where everyone's backed up. It's about 2,700 XP difference in the favour of the Radiant team. Gold-wise, it's about almost 6,000. Item-wise, Hand of Midas, for some reason, on Bloodseeker. Nothing too spectacular to really cast about, except for the almost semi-complete, I guess you might say, Lincoln's on the Weaver. He's picked up the health ring. I think he's got enough for the mana stone now, so he'll be able to get that Lincoln's probably in the next 10 minutes or so, or less, hopefully, you would think. And there's a smoke up here in the jungle. Clockwork being revealed by a single tree, while the rest of the team looks to rotate around and pick off who they can.
Mega kill.
This Luna being out of position could have been picked off, but luckily gets away thanks to the revealed smoke. Fury are looking to rotate into this position, potentially to defend this bottom tower, or at least deny it, given that he can probably run away a lot easier.
Yeah,
We have some reactionary TPs coming in from the Rubik and also the
Dire's top
Windrunner.
tower is under attack.
Oh no, it's Bloodseeker. Oh, great initiation there from Clockwork. Look at all the ults going smashing down on the team. Buybacks immediately being used by Rubik.
Tower is under attack.
And then immediately TP back in. We've got Windrunner now TPing in here. The whole team's here. It's maybe a little bit too late. Can he escape with this TP? He gets away. I can't believe he got away. So that's 4 heroes. Well played by GFG. That's 4 heroes for the loss of none. They may yet still lose this Crystal Maiden though. That was 4 for 1. It's only a Crystal Maiden. Oh, they may get a win on it. The Gyro too. 5 for 2. 6 for 2. 7 for 2. 6 for 2. 6 for 2 trade-off there. Yeah, well played by GFG, managing to get that great initiation, followed up with the gyro ult, and really caught SYS off guard, actually. Oh wait, and the engagement's still going. They're rotating back in. They've come back for seconds. Weaver goes down. Clockwork just about to go down. Clockwork goes down, but he takes Luna with him.
Feed the tree. Warriors of the wood.
So, all in all, reasonably good trade-off for everyone. Probably slightly in the favour of GFG because they picked up their support. They picked up their carry twice. They picked up all the carries and they picked up one of those carries twice. So yeah, in the favour of of SYF, well, in GFG, I should say, sorry, I apologise, I'm kind of miscasting a little bit. Yeah, in the favour of SIF, it was not, it was in the favour of GFG. Look at that, I'm mumbling. Yeah, definitely in the favour of GFG. They picked up those carries. Let's have a quick look at the graph. That will tell me if I'm right. You tells me I'm wrong. Tells me that it was pretty much even. Yeah, the graphs tell me that there's no change in terms of where they are, and there's a bit of a dip where they won that initial engagement, but that second engagement where they stuck around, it kind of put it back to where it was beforehand. Although the kill gap is a lot closer.
Yeah, just now, luckily before I DC, I saw what happened. Rubik, as previously in previous games, 2 games before, he did really well in buyback. So steal the invis and then go and kill another 2 heroes. So it's really good play.
I unfortunately missed that particular play. I was more focused on what was happening with Clockwork. Clockwork doing a great initiation in that bottom position here, and then good follow through with both Gyro and Crystal Maiden. Unfortunately, not enough to catch everybody, but they did win that initial engagement. As you said, Rubik buyback quickly, TP in, and to pick up some 2 kills to sort of equate the loss that they were currently suffering.
Yeah.
GFG need to play probably a little bit more smarter on this particular lineup. This is their last life. If they lose this, they're out of the championship. They take second place, and first place goes to SIF. SIF can play a bit more confidently because they have that extra life up their sleeve. But from what I can tell, they're playing the same sort of skill level they were playing all the way through, playing really strong. Picking up unusual teams. Well, I say unusual teams. Everyone's picked up an unusual team. Both teams are not the kind of standards, but SIF picking up these teams that don't have this obvious natural synergy that I can see for myself on the surface. They're picking up teams that have sort of meta synergy because they've played with each other for a while. That kind of synergy that only comes with a group of people who've been playing together for quite a while. They're able to do that with the team they've got. Whereas on the GFG's team, particularly the last lineup, they had that. Oh no, I'm talking out of my ass. In their last game, SYF had that pretty strong lineup. This particular lineup they're having, I still think it's crazy. They've got this one runner, Luna.
Yeah, it's quite different
It's
from
quite unconventional.
game.
Yeah, whereas their draft in the last game was quite a conventional draft. They had all the sort of heroes and the pieces you would expect to be, and that went really fast and in the favour quite easily. It was only a 20-minute game in favour of SIF. GFG also picking up a non-conventional team with the addition of the CM, although the rest of their team is pretty conventional. Not really sure what to make of that particular team makeup, but oh well, I say. And just to let the guys know who are watching online, thanks for your participation in watching the streams. I know there's been a few pauses, and we don't necessarily have full control over that. You know what it's like playing Dota. There's those pauses quite regularly. But just to let everyone know, there's a milestone. We have hit 600 views in the last 3 weeks, so it's my own personal milestone. And thanks to all you guys who are watching live on the stream. There's probably about 30 of you, 20 something of you watching it. Thanks for your support in watching this, and if you have the time while we're paused and you have not done so already, go along to facebook.com, type in Australia and New Zealand stage, not the symbol but the word Australian and New Zealand stage, into the search bar in Facebook. Find the page that has this picture here as its actual demo picture, as its actual profile picture. Click it, click like, give these guys some support so that we can have more events in the future.
Yeah, just looking back to the game, right? The GFG should have put Weaver, Miru, and right in with the gyro, because gyro is farming too late. Too late. So I
Yeah,
think that's why they are
I don't
losing.
think yeah I think what their thought was we'll put Gyro in our safe lane because they're going to have a long lane Weaver and Gyro does okay against a long lane Weaver and I thought you know what let's put a Clockwork in the middle to go up against their Windrunner and let's put a you know or a Nature's Prophet or something or sorry or a Bloodseeker.
I
They
think
weren't. I don't think in
Bloodseeker middle.
yeah I don't think they were expecting the lanes that they got. I don't think they were expecting. Um, the middle to be a nature's
Furion.
yeah Furion
Yeah.
and the bottom lane to be a Bloodseeker that threw them. I think they were expecting there to be a tri lane in this bottom position so they could allow this gyro to free farm on the top. As soon as they saw it wasn't, they should have swapped it. They should have put gyro in the middle immediately. They should have TP'd the two supports to the top, and they did rotate. They went all the way through. I don't know if you can see me drawing on the map, but they went all the way through here, and they tried to pick off somebody, and I think they got one kill, and they eventually went up to here. But in all that time, Gyro didn't get any farm, and by the time they got there, they didn't stay there. They just sort of went to this sort of roaming thing and went back to middle and back to bottom. And I don't think it's paid off.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, I'm not sure what is happening.
Probably DC and whatnot. You can see now here we've got just go through the items. I mean, there's nothing really amazing to talk to, but we have got people to entertain. People need to be entertained. Like we can't just be looking at a screen that has game paused. That's not going to be very exciting. We can see here that there's a Hand of Midas on this Bloodseeker, which is quite unusual. We do see an early mechanism on the Furion, which is going to be really, really useful for those team fights, given that he can TP in, and an early Medallion of Courage on the Windrunner, which is also going to be really, really good, particularly if they decide they're going to go and do a Rosh. I think they've already done them once. Is that true? No, they haven't done them once. That was the last game. Because the Medallion, then she can ult. Well, how do you do it? You make some trees, you tank it, you blow Rosh's protection with this,
Immunity. I think,
immunity
yeah.
with the shackle or something, and then you put down the medallion and then you just unload on it with the ult to help that get it down really really quickly, and them two alone can comfortably go and do Rosh right now. We've got Rubik sitting in with his mana boots, arcane boots. Looks like he's gonna go for BKB with the Ogre Club. I'm not sure there's anything else he would want to go for, or potentially what else can Ogre Club go into? Showing my noobness here, I'm not sure what Ogre Club can go into. Arcanums? Rubik doesn't have an Arcanums ability, so yeah, Black King Bar. And Luna doing the same. She's got her Helm of the Dominator to go into a Satanic later, but she's also picking up the Ogre Club for probably a BKB. On the Dire side, we've got, what do we got here, buddy? We got, oh wait, yes, finally, everybody is reconnected. This is not going to be a terrible game of nothingness. Thanks for sticking around, viewers. For that lengthy pause.
Hey, thanks.
And the game is resumed, and we're back into the fun mode of the actual game. Some pinks going down into the bottom lane here. Luna pinking the bottom, indicating something. I'm not really sure what that means. There's nothing there, so perhaps they were expecting to see somebody. In the mid lane, we got Rubik and an invisible Windrunner looking for something to kill. She doesn't quite see them just yet. If she goes around this tree, she'll see them, and the guys will start to rotate up into this position. She's got 20 seconds left on her invisibility. She's not really going to be able to gank somebody, so she goes down a random power shot and steals all that CS. That was a nice power shot. Some creeps looking. What are they doing here? Dire, we just kind of aimlessly farming their jungle, not really showing like they've got any kind of serious game plan in terms of what they're doing. You can see on the other team they've got a serious game plan. They're rotating into this bottom, they're looking to gank looking to gain Clockwork. Rubik is in position. Bloodseeker's there. Everybody's there. They could pick off somebody if they wanted to see them. Although Crystal Maiden, ooh, she's going to potentially walk into a gank there. No, she decides to go the long way. They know from the wards that somebody's there. So Clockwork, Crystal Maiden playing reasonably safe. But Furion coming in from behind with the trees. Doesn't realise there's a Crystal Maiden there. Gets stunned, gets locked down. But the Clockwork comes in. He picks up the... Clockwork has nowhere to go, and he gets just ability down. But the rest of the team comes and rotates in. They're looking to pick off somebody if they can. And there's a stun of Visage. There's a slow on the... Oh wait, and those...
Double kill!
Wow, people are dropping everywhere. This Furion barely escaping with his life from the
Dire's
familiars.
bottom tower is under
And
attack!
Weaver just getting away with a sliver of health, just managing to dodge that power
Dire's
shot.
bottom
Crystal Maiden
tower
being the only
is
person with
taking
any really good
many
escape
wounds.
is going to get picked off. I don't see her escaping this one. Yeah, and now he's got a homing missile on him, but he's just going to outrun it and get away. In fact, if I believe myself correctly, he can purge that off of himself, but he doesn't know it's inbound.
Dire's
It might
middle
kill him.
tower is under attack!
Oh no, it doesn't. It's only a level 1 rocket, and he lives. Oh, ha, ha, ha. Nice rocket flare just to pick him off.
Yeah.
But yeah, those engagements going mostly in the favour of Team SYS. GFG just getting, even though they got that slight sort of Furion off guard, the rest of the team coming in just a fraction too late to take advantage of the position that SYF was in, and because that fraction of time enabled SYF just to pick off a couple of heroes, so that when GFD did rotate in, they could actually react to it.
Killing spree!
Rubik on a killing spree, apparently. Picking up a kill. Picking up that Clockwork there.
Yeah.
And you can see here that, yeah, everyone's going for BKB. BKB is going up on a lot of heroes across the game, except for Windrunner. Yeah, and as someone is saying in the chat channel, yeah, Rubik would always go for a BKB. But we saw in the previous matches he didn't get a BKB. He in fact got a Blink Dagger, which we found, which he used quite well. So I can't fault him on that. But you know, Bloodseeker now coming into his element, having Ravage and also having a push stick, he can push people out of the way. And there's a lot of dominance on these lanes coming from the Dire team. You can the Radiant team. You can see in the bottom lane here, Luna's pushing a lane. You can see in the middle being pushed by both Windrunner and Rubik, and the top lane just being pushed by Bloodseeker. So you know the map of control and farm ability for the Dire team is shrinking and shrinking. Given that they also have only gotten this lonely one bottom tier 1 tower, and they're down to their tier 2s.
Yeah, right now I think they really have to stop Luna from farming.
That's easier said than done.
Yeah, they're just gonna push and gang people, because Clockwork is not gonna be useful in about 5 to 10 minutes, because they have the stuff, 4 stuff is almost up.
And they've got all those BKBs. Weaver not yet picking up that. I thought Weaver would pick up that Mana Stone, but instead he's basically abandoned his Lincolns for now and has gone for a Medallion of Courage. So they've got 2 medallions of. Oh no, they only have 1 Medallion of Courage. They've got a Medallion of Courage on the actual Weaver instead of the Visage where you would normally expect to see it. Why is that?
I guess that's just one of the top items, and thinking that the extra armors and extra minus armors for enemies is gonna do much, but I would say Lincoln is the best for
Yeah,
their
especially
team
for
now.
Weaver, yeah. Like I have played pub games where I'm so far behind on the levels and farm. I have got a medallion so that at least I can contribute to a team fight by lowering the armor of somebody before I get totally smashed in the face. And it has actually worked. There was a particular game where I can recall where, oh, hold on, getting pinged in the bottom here. Smoke up action, looks like they're going for a smoke rush or potentially going in for a smoke kill. The Radiant team see Rosh running around and not doing anything.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
None of them being revealed. No, but the smoke wearing off. They managed to catch this Bloodseeker on his own with that smoke gang.
Dire's middle tower is not
I guess
what it
that's a
used to be.
success, given
That is
that the
for
last game we
certain.
saw all the smoke action and no actual gaming
Dire's
engagements.
middle tower has fallen.
In the meantime, meanwhile,
Ru-
they've pushed this mid tower. I think that's a good trade for Bloodseeker. That's probably a net of about 400, 500 gold in total.
Yeah, good choice there. Actually, Rubik actually spotted the gang, but I think Bloodseeker's a bit too slow in reactions.
Yeah, we can see here in the bottom, Luna just farming up a storm, having completed her BKB. And Weaver still not really having any items. If she wants, she can take this Weaver. I don't think he's going to have much choice but to retreat,
Dire's top tower
even with his ult
is
and
under
his
attack.
Zukuzi up. He's not really going to be able to do anything against this Luna. And she's just farming away, and the rest of the
Much
team
like Cordwood
ignoring it.
before Axe's
In fact, they have too much to deal with
Dire's
in the top lane. There's too much
tower
pressure
is
coming
under
down.
attack.
So much so that Weaver has to TP in.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
But, you know, I guess bait called. Radiant decide they've made the push on the top tower. They've got the actual tower. No reason to be there. Nature's Prophet actually TPs out with a TP scroll, and the other two just walk away.
Yeah, really nice control from
Dire's
Viren.
bottom tower is taking
Oh wow,
many
good.
wounds.
See, they're doing the same thing they did before.
Radiant
They
found
push,
the
you
weakness
know,
in
they have 2 or 3
Dire's
heroes push
bottom
one lane,
tower.
while
It
2 others
turns
heroes
out
push
if
another
you
lane.
hit it enough,
As soon as
it will
there's
fall.
reaction to one point, they just jump away and come back, causing the other team to sort of basically just use up TP scrolls. But the net result is them still getting towers.
Yeah. At that point, you know the lane is failing, and probably the practice is failing as well, because they are playing like a football. They're following the football paces rather than creating a new skills or event.
Right, and they're looking to do rush here. They've got the amulet. They're right-clicking down on top of rush. They do sense some action here with that ward. They can see there is some mustering of the enemy team. They use smoke, but wait for it. The Radiant should have seen that smoke. Yeah, they did see that smoke. So once they see that these guys have rotated out, they go back to doing rush. Dire unaware of where the Radiant currently is. Because their ward vision is quite small. Now, but they're rotating back into this rush pit. They could potentially catch them out of position. They need to go in soon. They're all there, and they go. There's a rocket flare. There's a cogs. They're out of position. What do? There's a Luna ult. Ult's going down everywhere. Unfortunately, just so much damage coming up from Visage, coming out. Yeah. That Furion ult followed by a Visage and a Fade Bolt destroys the team, and that is officially bad news. It is, yeah. It's I talk about this quite regularly. This bracket of 10,000 at the sort of 10 mark and 20,000 at the 20 minute, they're almost at a steamrolling effect in terms of you can't turn that around. And I think they can't turn this around. They don't have any buybacks. This is going to be a tier 3 tower and potentially a Rax. And they now need to engage this Radiant team very carefully. Very, very carefully. And they're going to go in. They're going to try and drive them back. The glaives are just too strong. The glaives just right-clicking down everybody. You know, with power shots, shackles, and fade bolts going down. That engagement I talked about being very, very careful wasn't careful enough. And unfortunately, that is definitely mid-Rax. Mid-Rax and potentially also bottom or top. No, they're just going to take that one rack and back out. They're 3 down. No, they've just taken too much damage. But that was all completely in the favour of SYF. GFG really on the back foot now. Psychologically, they're probably feeling a little broken. What are they going to do? You know, the defences are being whittled away, and they're just falling slower, further and further behind. Just it might be slowly, but they're still falling further behind. And you know, they're not even really seeing this Luna for most of the game.
Yeah, definitely.
This is bad news, you know. It's bad news, Luna. She shows up, they know it's going to be bad.
Haste.
They can even tech up the whole team by just 4v5.
See a bit of a Luna reverting back to farm. It looks like she's going to probably try and finish off the Satanic.
Dyer's middle barracks are under attack.
Meanwhile, the creeps are almost taking out the mid by themselves, and I have to fall back into this sort of defensive cove here to defend their mid position. And it looks like they're going for another smoke up. Are they? Yeah. They fall back right hard back into their own well almost just to smoke
War
it.
has been declared on Dyer's middle
Yeah,
barracks.
it's quite funny though, because the creeps in the middle they haven't cleared, and
Yeah,
and
they lose the
it's
racks.
kind of obvious.
Fallen. Tend to your wounded.
Looks like they're
or
just
put them
gonna-
out of their misery.
They were hoping to pick somebody up on the
Out.
top lane, but they're not going to get anyone. It's going to be a fail smoke. Meanwhile, there's this huge push of creeps, including Nature's Prophet's trees, that are pushing down the mid lane, so they're going to potentially get one of these towers if they're not careful.
I think they're gonna turtle out the game.
Dyer's middle tower
Nah.
is under attack.
Nah, they're just going to sit up here in the corner and just wait for the game to finish. This is officially
God.
the end of the tournament.
Dyer's middle tower is
This
under
is
attack.
not the method of champions. This is definitely not the method of champions.
Dyer's bottom
Well, they're
tower
potentially just
is
going to sit
under
here and wait
attack.
till when this top lane gets pushed. Nah, they're just making holes. Yeah.
Dyer's middle tower is not what it used to be.
This is
That
going to
for
be
certain.
unexciting stuff for the viewers of my particular cast. Meanwhile, Team
Dyer's
Sif just
middle
really
tower is under
farming it up
attack.
just to add insult to injury. They're just going to keep playing as if it was a normal game. They have no idea where the other enemy team is, but at about this time, they're starting to realize these guys, they're not playing because they can't see them.
Dyer's middle tower
Or-
is under
Or
attack.
they could be thinking it's a next level strategy and they're smoking.
Dyer's middle tower
Yeah, and
is
you can
not
see
what it
Luna
used to
with the
be.
Aegis is
That
looking to
for
scout them out,
certain.
while the rest of the team clusters and sort of hangs on to each other because at this stage they think GFG is actually smoked. Yeah, and it's going to come a point when they realize, where are they?
Dyer's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, this is officially the end of the tournament. Congratulations to SYF for winning Game 2
Dyer's
of
middle
the best of
tower
3, which
is
means that
under
they are the
attack.
champions of the series. Congratulations to them. And congratulations to all the teams that participated. It was fun casting your games. And
Dyer's bottom
I
tower
hope you guys had
is
fun,
face
even
down
if you
in
didn't do
the
too
dirt.
well.
Dyer's bottom barracks are under attack.
Because that's what it's
Yeah,
about.
looks like they're gonna end the game.
Dyer's bottom barracks have fallen. Dyer's middle tower is not what it used to be. That is for Dyer's middle tower has fallen. Axe wishes it was you instead.
And
Dyer's middle tower
congratulations.
is under attack.
If you guys are not familiar with the things, I'll just quickly run through the plugins just for about 3 seconds. These guys, this is the picture you need to see here. If you go to facebook.com, type in Australia and New Zealand stage, you'll see this picture, and this picture will reveal
Dyer's ancient
their
is
Facebook
under
page.
attack.
That like, the more likes they have, the bit more sponsorship they can potentially get. Upcoming in a couple of weeks is the Kiwi Challenge Series 2 to 12th and 28th of July. Add Dota 2 New Zealand to your Steam profile or D2NZ so you can watch those games. The intake for that event is currently closed, but it's 18 heads going head to head with 24 teams going head to head in September or August or something after TI3.